Do I go? Okay, the very first root of a tree is something that starts it all. It starts the growth of millions of leaves, thousands of branches, and hundreds of opportunities. In our society, sexism is that first root. When humans switched from hunting and gathering to agriculturing, women were forced into their houses. They were forced to bear children. And it sprouted traditions and cultures similar to mine, where a woman giving birth to a boy is the greatest accomplishment she could do in her lifetime. It sprouted religion or traditions similar to mine, like Lordy, which is supposed to mark the end of winter, but instead stands as a day for families and friends to come together to celebrate the birth of the newest boy in the community. Another tradition, Rakhi, which is supposed to be an innocent thing between a sister and her brother, but instead is marked as something that a sister ties a thread around her brother's arm, and in return he promises to protect his sister from the harsh world. By setting the precedent that women are fragile, weak, can't stand all these harsh men, it leads to men thinking that a woman's only power is the power to be dependent. Stereotyping starts when you let it define yourself. We need to get the message out that if you play like a girl, you define it. If you're fragile, you show it. And if you're short, you're proud of it, not the other way around. You see, when stereotyping happens, it's just a matter of words, and how you choose to define yourself with those words is what matters. At a young age, when boys are taught to see girls as this pretty prize to win, that's all the man in him will see, this pretty prize to win. And stereotyping such as girls being this angel figure that you get to keep in your house, doing the things no man will ever dare to do, washing dishes, sewing, cooking, cleaning. It creates this stereotype in the minds of not just boys, but men, and so on. To stop this stereotyping is hard, yes. But one message that organizations like AAUW and other women empowering groups like So Optimist or any other groups out there is that you're not the only one, is that there are thousands and millions of other women, girls, teens out there fighting for the same thing that you are facing. When 20-year-old United States gymnast Maggie Nicholas reported the atrocious sexual abuses of Larry Nassar, she wasn't just standing up for herself. She opened a door. She cracked open a door. She let those young girls see that if you talk about what you've done and seen, it helps. It shows. And 265 young United States gymnast members later, Donald Trump this Wednesday signed the Protecting Young Victims of Sexual Abuse and Safe Sports Authorization Act. What the message we need to get out is that you have a support group. The biggest thing we can do is that you need support, not just from your family, not just from your friends, but from everyone who you represent, from everyone who you look alike, and so on. When a girl speaks out about what she's seen, what she's done, and all these other things, it gets girls reading about it. You post about it. You say, oh, today I heard this said about me. I've seen this guy touch me, or this happened to me. When you get girls reading, you get girls relating. And when they're relating to each other, they're talking to each other. And once you get them to talk, you get them to grow equality, grow empowerment, where they feel like they have a safe ground, they have a safe space to go and talk to what they've seen, to what they've done. With the rooting tree that starts at sexism, it only leads to everything else. It leads to racism, leads to nationalism, which might seem good, you're proud of your country, but when that proudness of your country is making wars, terrorism, it leads to everything else. So once this reading tree, if we can reach the very bottom of it first, we can tear the whole thing down. Just imagine a girl comes up to this tree and just sits there. And through organizations who have created online pages, public session groups, and anything and everything they've done to support a girl. Not just say, we're there for you, we'll do this, we can do this. No, we can. But how are you going to do it? You need to first create a group. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to stand here and I'm going to talk about it. Yes, talk about it, but talk about it personally. You need to look relatable. So instead of photoshopping Barbie dolls and creating all these things that are unattainable, look relatable to the girl, teen, woman in that person. And that's the only way. So that girl who's sitting under this tree of problems, when she posts about something on a personal online page created by organizations like AAUW, she's going to get girls reading that. Once girls read that, they come up to her. They're sitting. Now there's two people sitting under the tree, staring at it of problems and everything. And once everybody else is there, and so on, all those girls, there's so many girls there that they can't stand sitting. And in that crowd, it only takes one voice for them to get up and stand it down. Thank you.